Welcome to your task 3 under Practical Research 1, the nature of inquiry and research, describing characteristics, processes, and ethics of research. This task is based on the learning competency, describes characteristics, processes, and ethics of research. The title of the lesson is Rectifying Research Misconduct. Welcome to Task 3. A. Your vocabulary builder were matched. Directions: match the words in column A to its meaning in column B. Do it in your notebook. In column A, we have 1. Bias, 2. Strategy, 3. Blueprint, 4. Fabricate, and 5. Imperative. While in column B, we have A. To have a strong and often unfair influence on someone or something. B. To create or make up in order to trick people. C. A detailed plan on how to do something. D. A careful plan or method for achieving a particular goal, usually over a long period of time. E. Expressing a command in a forceful and confident way. F. Done in one's free will without valuable consideration or legal obligation. Task 2B, your readiness check, misconception check. Directions: read the sentences, put a check on the space before the number if you think that the sentence is a description of research. Put a cross if you think that it is not. Write your answer on your notebook. Number 1, research must observe a step-by-step process. Number 2, the steps in conducting research are patterned. Number 3, the student researcher must read literature related to the problem he or she is studying. Number 4, the researcher must avoid listening to another researcher to have an objective view of his or her study. And number 5, a person's opinion is acceptable and considered as an answer to the questions asked by the researcher. Still on task 3, letter C, mind your ethics. Directions: based from what you have learned from the lesson, after reading and analyzing from the article, answer the guide questions. Write your answer on your notebook. Number 1, based on the article, how will you define ethics in research? Number 2, are the Tuskegee syphilis study and diethylstilbestrol study on pregnant women unethical? Why? Number 3, if you were part of the research teams who conducted the research studies, what will you do to correct the unethical aspect of the experiments? Task D, your readiness check, misconception check. Read the sentences, put check on the space before the number if you think that the sentence is a description of research. Put a cross if you think it is not. Write your answer on your notebook. 1. Alex put his name on a quotation of Dan Brown. Number 2. The author is Mulroney Dermott, but the reference of JC is Mulroney Demott. 3. After reading a selection, Ali correctly wrote the contents of the selection and cited the author. Number 4. In Jenny's project, she carefully expressed the ideas of the author and wrote the author's name. 5. Because of lack of time, Pauline omitted some of the important details from a source in her thesis. Under Task 3E, 7 steps, directions, identify the stage or step in the research process of the given scenario. Choose your answer and write it on your notebook. A. Step 1, define the problem. B. Step 2, review literature. C. Step 3, formulate hypothesis. D. Step 4, design research. E. Step 5, collect data. F. Step Step 6, analyze data. And G, Step 7, interpret and report data. We are still in E, 7 steps. Scenario 1. Jesse distributed questionnaires to grade 7 students who have been bullied and at risk of dropping out. Scenario 2. Bella shared her research findings to the Supreme Student Council so that they can help to address the problem. Scenario 3. Don was a victim of body shaming, so he personally chose body shaming as his research topic. And scenario 4, Christine visited the municipal library to look for previous studies about the research she's working on. In continuation, scenario 5, Chris decided to make a case study because he wanted to know the experiences of Typhoon Tissoy survivors and how they recover from the physical devastation and haunting memories brought about by the typhoon. Scenario 6, Val summarizes the data he collected. He interpreted the data and looked for patterns, relationships, and trends among the data. Scenario 7, Rose has already her research title. She knows making prediction of the outcome of her study. Under F, connect me if I'm wrong. Directions, determine the appropriate ethical actions to address the unethical practices described in the table. Write your answer on a one whole sheet of paper. Unethical practices. Number 1, Joy, a TBL student, is planning to conduct her first research on misbehavior of fellow students inside the classroom. However, she has no idea on the ethical guidelines in conducting such research. Number 2, Jose was always absent and got addicted in Mobile Legends. Though he's an honor student, he ranked last in the honor roll. A qualitative research about Jose is conducted without informing him. Number 3, afraid not to graduate, Greg claimed the research work of his classmate. He erased the name of the original researcher and placed his own. Number 4, a group of GAS students secretly choose their advisor as the subject of their research. Number 5, in order to finish his data gathering for his study, Romel, the class valedictorian, forced his friends to answer his questionnaire. So what ethical action would you do? Letter G, under task 3, fact check. Directions, identify what characteristics of research is being described in each item. Write the letter opposite each number. Write your answer on your notebook. We have A, empirical, B, logical, C, cyclical, D, analytical, E, critical, F, methodical, and G, replicability. Moving on to G, number 1, research requires expertise and competence. Number 2, research is based upon observable experience. Number 3, research is guided by the rules of logical reasoning. Number 4, research starts with a problem and ends with a problem. So the choices for the characteristics of a research are given on the left side. Still under G, moving on. 5, research procedures are repeated to arrive at a definite result. Number 6, research attempts to find objective unbiased solution to the problem. Number 7, research employs carefully designed procedures and rigorous analysis. Moving on task 3, letter H, your final task, can you help? Directions, list down reasons that drive people to commit research misconduct. Opposite the reason, suggest ways on how to prevent it. Write your answer on a one whole sheet of paper. So you need to give at least 5 reasons for committing research misconduct and 5 ways how to prevent it. Still under task 3, for your final task, I, Your reflection or reflections, we call this exit slips, directions. On your notebook, reflect on the learning that you gained during the lesson by completing the chart. So you need to explain, I thought and I learned. So by completing this phrase will determine what you gained during the lesson. Okay guys, that ends your task. Please do not forget to like, share, subscribe, click the notification bell, add comments on this video. For the information of the author are presented on the left. Thank you very much. In case you need to know where the materials was taken, the reference are here.